bunch of these videos all in a row to stockpile them because my work has been really crazy, so I need to make sure I have videos. And my mouth is getting tired from talking. I'm not actually that much of a talker in real life. I know that's hard to believe, but my mouth is legit getting tired. Vlogger problems, I guess. Anyway, I'm sorry about the crappy lighting in here. It's a dreary day, and I am too cheap/poor to afford proper lights for myself. Maybe someday. We'll see. Today I am going to be doing a review of a book that I recently read, all for myself. I didn't look at anybody else's reviews of it. I believe Goodreads just suggested it to me randomly, and I was like, well, I've been meaning to read more Neil Gaiman, and thus I picked up NeverWhere. I actually picked up the book on CD version, which was narrated by Neil Gaiman. It was the author's preferred text version, and it was narrated by him. And I love Neil Gaiman's voice. Whew. I get huge voice crushes on people, and I have a giant one on Neil Gaiman. So because I'm terrible, I filmed a bunch of videos and then realized that I had forgotten to read the synopsis for NeverWhere. So here I am reading it now. After the synopsis, you'll go back to your regularly scheduled review. Under the streets of London, there's a place most people could never even dream of. A city of monsters and saints, murderers and angels, knights in armor and pale girls in black velvet. This is the city of the people who have fallen between the cracks. Richard Mayhew, a young businessman, is going to find out more than enough about this other London. A single act of kindness catapults him out of his workday existence and into a world that is at once eerily familiar and utterly bizarre. And a strange destiny awaits him down there, beneath his native city, NeverWhere. So NeverWhere. I have not really read many of Neil Gaiman's books, and I hadn't really heard any hype about NeverWhere, and that kind of actually drew me to it, because I've been too disappointed by overhyped books lately. So this nice little book looked like the perfect place to settle in and enjoy myself. And enjoy myself I did. But it was for one very specific and very important reason, which I will save until last. First, I'm actually going to talk about the things that I didn't like as much. The book overall was pretty unexceptional. It was enjoyable, but it certainly isn't going to change my life. I wouldn't own it, and it's not going to stick with me very long. But it was fun to read while I was reading it, or listening to it. Neil's writing is, of course, very good, but the story itself didn't break any molds. It's sort of the classic person gets thrown into a magical world that is parallel to their own. It's Alice in Wonderland all over again. These books are everywhere, and this didn't do anything that's so drastically different from the other books of this kind to make it stand out all that much. The bad guys in this book I found really kind of disappointing. I really wanted more from them. They were both very one-note. They are mercenary characters, and I'm always intrigued by mercenaries because they are doing what they do to get paid, and if they don't get paid, then where do their allegiances lie? And I'm really interested in exploring the dynamic of those kinds of characters. Unfortunately, these guys were pretty cliched villains. They just basically were in it for the murder. They were super violent, they loved to kill things, and it was really kind of boring. There was an intelligent one and a dumb one, and it's just, eh. Most of the other characters also felt really shallow and like wasted opportunities to me. I really wanted to like Hunter. She was the badass female character, but she never really did anything to get out of that stereotype of just the stoic badass female character. She did one thing, she had one tiny little act of kindness with the main character that seemed like maybe she was going to start to develop, and then it didn't really. I also felt like the Marquis of Carabas had a lot of potential as a character, and I was very interested in him, and then he spent about a third of the book dead. And I was really quite disappointed in the direction his character took after his death, too. Because this is Neil Gaiman, so you know death usually doesn't stick. Jane is finally here! Yay! I filmed several videos, and they were catless. And Jane is here now, so all is well and right with the world. Don't ruin these pants. I like these pants. I liked the parallel world. It was like London Beneath, I think is what they called it. And it was interesting enough as a parallel world, and it was different enough, but with elements of the real world in it. So that was engaging. I like to tie in with the subways and the underground. Neil Gaiman is really good at describing things and sometimes really disgusting or gross out things. So that made it stand out a little bit as opposed to other magical worlds that you could go in, that we have gone into. Jane is clawing the crap out of my legs. I have to put him down. Down on the floor, not kill him. Put him down there. But now let's talk about what I loved in this book. This is like the thing that pushed it on Goodreads from 3 to 4 stars. That is the character of Richard Mayhew, the main character. Richard is my soul. He is such a perfect main character for me. I can understand how other people maybe didn't relate with him as much, but I loved him. Absolutely. In every scene he was in, I just had this biggest, stupidest grin on my face because Richard, he is the quintessential everyman. He's just some guy. And he is gentle and he is kind and he is not. I am so sick of the badass stereotype for guys. Richard feels like such a more realistic guy and a guy that I would like to know. He is absent-minded to a fault and I love that. He is disorganized and so am I. So much of the beginning of the book talking about Richard being disorganized and events coming in packs to surprise you is my life. And I was like, Richard is me. In so many ways. I loved it because I have real trouble keeping track of events in my life, what's coming up. I often double book myself. I am totally Richard for getting my keys in my apartment, and even when he goes out into this world and he has to become a hero, he never steps out of that character of just a real human being. He never becomes this unexplained badass. He is just unflaggingly sweet. He tries even if he doesn't think he's going to succeed. He is a cinnamon roll. He is kind. Richard, I don't even like to use this word, but I will use it here. Richard is bae, and I will protect him with my life. He is so well written, so complex, and I think that is why I was disappointed in the other characters, because none of them got the depth that Richard got as a character, and he is so not a stereotype, and I could go on for hours about this character. Holy cow, I loved him. If you like everyman characters and if you are sick of the macho male stereotype, please check out NeverWhere and my darling Richard, who will forever be my boo. So yes, NeverWhere as a whole, I will probably not own, I'll probably forget about, but Richard will be in my heart forever. Those were my thoughts on Neil Gaiman's NeverWhere. Have you read it? What did you think about it? What did you think about my darling Richard? Be careful what you say, because I will protect the baby, sweet Richard cinnamon roll with my life. But no, seriously, comment below, let me know what you thought of this book if you have read it. And if I get more into Neil Gaiman books, what other Neil Gaiman books should I check out? I am going to be checking out the graphic novel version of The Graveyard Book. That's on my TBR stack in my living room. So that's happening. But otherwise, I don't really know that much about Neil Gaiman's work other than seeing it around and knowing that I have a giant voice crush on him. So let me know what you think based on my thoughts on NeverWhere, what you think I should read next. Also, if there are any videos of any kind that you would like to see me do, comment below and let me know. You know, boss me around a little bit. I'll probably do it. Jane is yawning. I am boring him. So I will say goodbye to all. Remember, like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it. And I will see you all again next time when I will probably be even more tired of speaking. I can do this. So many videos to make.